Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil. And today what we're going to be doing is taking a look at this new information we got for the raid, not only from a scoring perspective, but also kind of adjusting our expectations as to what we can expect out of this raid. What should your guild be looking at from a scoring perspective, from a roster? I'm going to share what my guild's doing and give you some context, because I think as we get into this raid, it's kind of crept up on us a lot sooner than we were thinking. And so I think adjusting our expectations is going to be very important, not only to keep your guild together, but also just to keep your morale up. One of the biggest things in this game is the morale of your guild. And if you go from doing really well in the speeder bike raid to crashing and burning on this Naboo raid, I don't want you to be shocked. So go ahead, guys, please like and subscribe, comment down below. Let's give a huge shout out to the channel members for continuing to support me through thick and thin. Thank you guys again. I appreciate you all so much. Hopefully you're enjoying the Discord. I know some of you kind of asking questions still. I love to see it, guys. That's what the Discord is there for. Thank you again. Let's get into our video. Let's talk about this raid and the new scoring. Alright, so I do want to flip over to the forums here. Of course, it's not going to do that for me, is it? Come on now. It was loaded up like a second ago. There we go. Alright, so here is the scoring for the raid. So, again, the scoring has changed since the speeder bike raid in terms of like how many points you can earn. So where I want you guys to pay attention to is this 265 for a second. This 265 million points here. This is the equivalent of scoring 400 million points in the speeder bike raid. Just to show you that math here. You have to pay, and the way to do this is just to pay attention to the rewards, right? So we go over here, right? And if you go up here and click on this reward box, you see the 5,250 Mark III raid currency there. If we go back over to the screen capture here, and you can see that for 265 million in this raid, you get that 5,250. So that's where my guild is at right now. We're at that, milestone 8 in speeder bike raid and Naboo raid. So that's kind of our measuring stick that we're saying, hey, we're hoping to be here in, that's where we're going to start out at. But my guild is pushing into box 9 territory for this Naboo raid. That's something we've been communicating to our players for a while. So with that information in mind, we need to start thinking about, hey, what's our time frame to get there? Because we're not going to get there overnight. We're not going to be just shooting up right away to get to that level, right? That is not a reality, unfortunately. And you know what? In a way, I think that's very, very good that we're not at that point, because it's giving us time to kind of react. It's giving us time to, make something happen. So here we go. I want to flip over to the Discord now. So this was an announcement made by Zangster, who's one of our officers in the guild, right? Zangster's awesome. You guys remember, he was my GAC opponent. He's who got me into this guild. So always a soft spot there. Shout out, man. So he is our raid officer. And so he kind of, created this post here to say, hey guys, here's what we're going through. Here's what we're going to be doing, right? We're going to be pushing for the equivalent of this in the speeder bike raid. And this was a few days ago. So this was even before the announcement came out, right? So he said, hey, we're expecting it to be released on July 2nd. Jar Jar is going to return in August, and it is mandatory to have him unlocked. That is something that our guild has known for a while, right? That's the expectations of my guild. And just for clarity's sake, right? Because again, expectations are important, as is the context. My guild is 583 million galactic power. To put that into just, again, we say, hey, we're requiring Jar Jar. To put that into perspective for you guys, I'm going to flip over to swago.gg. And so what you can see here is that our average galactic power is 11.7 million. So right there, you get the idea of the kind of accounts that are in this guild. We're all towards that, point. And even just to further show you, this is what's jarring. I have 11 million galactic power. I'm what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm 44th in the guild in total GP. It's jarring, right? That is crazy to think about. That's how big our guild is. So again, additional context here as to, hey, these are our requirements because this is the size of our guild. So I did want to show that, and we're going to flip back over to Discord. We're going to flip back and forth a lot. So what we did is we said, okay, hey guys, so we're allowed 5 teams, right? This provides, multipliers for these different levels. Here's the characters that we're planning to invest on. Remember, a team of 4 Relic 7 units could be better than adding a Relic 5 unit to them and dropping down in the multiplier. So these are our expected teams that we're going to be using to some degree. We don't know for certain yet. We're going to really work through that, kind of figure that out. But these are kind of the characters we're aiming at having. And then our expectations for the timeline that it's going to take for us to get there. So, in August, look at this. We don't even have expectations for July. The expectations start in August, that by August 1st, you've got a Relic 7 team and 2 Relic 5 teams. In September, 3 Relic 7 teams. October, 4. November, 5. December 15th, kind of a cutoff point for us. Relic 9 for Queen Amidala and 4 Relic 7 teams, right? So the Queen Amidala team is what we're planning to take to Relic 9. And the reason for that being how good the ROI is on Padawan Obi-Wan Master Qui-Gon. Shout out Egnards. He did a huge deep dive that a lot of people are using as that analysis to say this is what's worth it. So he gets a lot of credit for putting that together and kind of showing people. And he and I have some very strong opinions on that we will air out at some point. So stay tuned for that. But those are kind of my guild's expectations for our raid at 580 million. So this gives you even, I think, one, that my guild is very organized with this already. But number 2, it gives you context that if your guild is 400 million galactic power, don't set the expectation that you're going to hit the ground running with this raid. Like, we're not even expecting that. We're saying, hey, July, like, we're not going to be hammering you. We're not going to be pestering you because we recognize that this raid kind of came out a little bit earlier. But I think for the average free-to-play in the game or, lower level guilds, it coming up as a surprise is perfect. Because now what it's done is that while you were thinking, I have another month to prepare, you're going to get to see all of the teams that are going to do well, all the teams that aren't, and then you can decide what to build. So this is definitely like this is a sheep in wolf's clothing rather than a wolf in sheep's clothing. It's the opposite, right? It looks bad, but it's actually very good. So I do want to flip over to the game though, because I do want to show you a little bit of the preparation that I will be doing for the raid. Live in video, I got all of the Gungans finally to 7-star. So we will be using these guys as much as we can in the raid without Jar Jar, and then hopefully get Jar Jar to, Relic levels, or get Jar Jar whenever he does come back. So first, Gungan to Relic is Boss Nass. There we go. I don't know that I'll have you maybe stick around for all of these. Maybe we will. But this is kind of the first one for me, right? That I'll have my first Relic 7 team ready to go for the Gungans. And the other thing that I will show you is that I'm going to have enough resources left over with everything that I have here that I still have enough for additional Relic 7s in the account. So I'm going to do some additional work here and there to ensure that we're going to get where we need to go with this account. I'm not sure if I'm going to do Stap or Luminara yet. I might wait to see how they're performing in the raid. So there we go. We hit Relic 5, but we're going to Relic 7. I want these guys at Relic 7. That's what I earmarked for myself. Even though Relic 5 is what gets the event done, we're going all the way to here. Right, so there is one of them done for the raid. Let's put his Zetas on because he deserves them. And then, of course, I'll have to remod, which I won't do in this video because remodding takes so long. But there's the first Gungan done. We will be doing the rest of these guys, right? We'll make sure that we get all of them up and running to Relic 7 in time for this raid. I'm super pumped about that. So, again, just in terms of showing you kind of on paper, hey, here's kind of what we're thinking. Like, look, I've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams right here. And that's without really going crazy dipping into other Galactic Republic Jedi. This is kind of just me throwing around a couple of things, not really sure what goes where and how. Just kind of, seeing what could work, what can't work. So, again, guys, I wanted to just set this expectation that don't feel like you need to hit the ground running with this raid right away. Like, I mean, I'm probably more on the side of, ill-prepared than most people in my guild. But now having the Gungans ready, that's a big boost. Obviously, these guys, that's just going to happen when it can happen as a free-to-play. I'm not going to sit around and pretend that's any other reason. One other thing I did want to cover here before we head out. So, around the Relic 9s, I currently do not have enough Gerda keypads for 5 Relic 9s, right? I do not have enough. Nor do I have the signal data. But that's okay, right? Like my guild, that's why we're targeting this December 15th. That gives us time to prepare for that, to equip them. Like the first two for me will be these guys, right? We'll equip there. And then what we'll kind of do, I'm sure, is revisit and make sure that the Relic 9 Queen Amidala team is where we want to invest that. Because maybe it's just Master Qui-Gon, Padawan Obi-Wan, leave Queen Amidala at Relic 8 and potentially bump Gungans up to Relic 8 or something to get additional points. So that's the end of the video, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Again, hopefully this helps you with your expectations going into this raid, right? That you can see, hey, as a large guild, this is what we're expecting. That July is kind of a, hey. So if you're a smaller guild than that, you may need to expend that time. You may need to go into September and say, hey, guys, first 2 months of this raid, we can't really be expecting you to do anything because we weren't prepared for it. So let me know your thoughts. I love you all. May the force be with you, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, my friends.